Let's go back to the NFL where your guy, Ryan Tannehill, went to therapy, he says now, after that playoff loss against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I say you're a guy, a little facetiously, I know you're a Titans fan, but Tannehill said a lot of things yesterday. He talked about going to therapy after that playoff loss, saying, quote, "It's a deep scar. Every time I close my eyes, I kind of rewatch the game. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep for weeks. I was in a dark place, and it took me a while, took a lot of work to get out of it. That's when the Titans lost to the Bengals 19-16, and Tannehill threw 3 picks, including one that led to the game-winning field goal." Did you go to therapy after that loss? Because I feel like Ryan Tannehill is probably not alone here.
Many Titans fans were in a dark place after that playoff game. Because listen, the Titans were the number 1 seed in the AFC. And then they did that in the first round of the playoffs. And it was squarely on the shoulders of Ryan Tannehill, throwing some of the worst picks I've ever seen, including on the very first play of the game, which drew all of the energy out of the home field advantage that the Titans had. But the quote that really set Twitter ablaze yesterday was the fact that Ryan Tannehill said, "It's not my job to mentor Malik Willis." If you haven't noticed, the Titans drafted a quarterback in this draft, Malik Willis, who certainly has a very high ceiling, looked very good at his pro day, scored pretty high on the Wonderlic. And so I think maybe there is a tinge of feeling in Tennessee that if Ryan Tannehill plays bad enough in these first few games, people are going to be calling for Malik Willis. So here's the question. Do you think Ryan Tannehill needs to be a mentor to Malik Willis? Because I get it. They're competing for the same job. But at the end of the day, I think Ryan Tannehill's job is squarely on him. If he plays well, he has the job. If he doesn't, it's probably going to be Malik Willis, but it has nothing to do with him being nice.
Yeah, well, have some damn confidence in your game. When you talk about mentoring someone, what does that mean? Does that mean that he calls Malik Willis over and says, "Hey, bring your books. Bring your books. I'll make some sodas, pop up some popcorn, and we'll sit and we'll study the playbook, and we'll get better together, and I'll answer all your questions"? No, it just means helping him out, answering some questions at practice, maybe helping him in the film room a little bit. And ultimately, don't you want your team to be better? Isn't that the ultimate goal if you're playing in the NFL? Is to help out other teammates, even at your position, so that if you don't play a series, maybe you miss a few games because of injury, then Malik Willis can sub in, and based on you helping him, he gets in there and performs well, which ultimately helps the team. I understand that it's not your job to lead someone around and teach them everything. You have to have that want to if you're a young quarterback or young player coming out of college playing any position. But this idea that, if he learns something along the way, it'd be good for him, but it's not my job. Well, no, it's not your job. But you probably should do that. And if you think you're the guy, if you're asking for millions and millions of dollars in a long-term contract into Ryan Tannehill, then you should be confident enough to not worry about a third-round draft pick.
But look at some of the other quarterbacks who have been like this. Brett Favre, Hall of Famer. Tom Brady, the best quarterback of all time, once didn't want to give any reps to any of his backups. So I'm not sure if it is a matter of confidence because we've seen it before.
I don't know what it is about the quarterback position. It feels like we see this with quarterbacks across the league and have over time and not with other positions. The Titans are minus 120 to make the playoffs at BetMGM. Would you lay the small number on Tennessee making it?
No, I don't have a whole lot of faith in their offense. Just because I feel like we're going to see the game plan where they rely heavily on Derrick Henry. We saw in the playoffs, if the entire stadium knows you're running the football, they'll probably be able to stop you.